You know what time it is. It's your favorite social media coach, Melle Howard. Coach Melle in the building with your favorite cool uncle, Uncle Flood, and they're going to take you inside the game. So sit down, relax, get your favorite beverage, and hang as they take you across SWAC, a special and professional sports as they talk Monday Night Football here on Inside the Game. All right, let's get into it.
It never gets old hearing that song.
No. Welcome to Narnia. Once again.
Once again, literally once again for once
yes,
again.
Once again.
The number one is haunting us this season. Once again, one win. Man, that's crazy. How you doing, Up?
Man, I'm okay, man. I was a little sad Saturday, but, you know, I got over it. Life keeps going. But it's really not a good time. You know, it's a good time, but it's not a good time. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's literally, well, as if you don't know, if you've been on the rock, we had the game this Saturday. Southern University 30, Texas Southern 35, and once again, the Jaguars fall short and are now literally 1-10. I don't know if I've ever thought that those words would come out of my mouth in my life.
Yes. Yeah, and we've been here. Just it didn't seem like it was this bad back in 2010, 2011 when we went 2-9. A lot of people forget that. They put that out of their mind. You know, like I posted a picture of Will Smith with the thing, the clicker to make everybody forget what they saw. I think everybody did that with 2010.
You know, this just feels like.
Well, we kind of knew we were in a rebuild then. Yeah. I think that's kind of what it was, because we started out winning the first game, and everybody's like, "Okay, we're gonna be okay." And then it was very clear by the second game that we weren't going to be okay. So everybody just kind of, you know, it was like, "All right, we're not going to be very good." So they kind of had adapted to that really early in the season. This year, we came in as the predicted champions, the preseason #1 team,
and we are far from #1. I don't know that many people correlated #1 with one win.
Yes.
So I don't think that's what we thought.
We were predicted to win the West and play in the championship, and here we are with one win going into the final week of the season.
If you had to ask me, I would have been banking on about 10-1. If you told us it was going to be 10-1 going into the Bayou Classic, I'm like, oh, that's about all right. But 1-10, I didn't see it coming. I don't think.
No, I didn't see it coming. I didn't think we were a championship caliber team, but you know, we had things go our way and made it into the championship the year before. I didn't think we were necessarily a championship caliber team, but I didn't think we were a one-win team. And it took me about 5 or 6 games into this season to realize we're not just not getting the breaks. We're not a very good team. When I realized that I just kind of reconciled myself to whatever happens.
Yeah, Charlena says that the sound is messing up. I'm hearing everything okay. Are you hearing everything okay?
Yes, I'm hearing everything okay.
I'm not sure what's happening over there, Charlena, but while there's something that we can do in the control room, let us know. But yeah, I mean, and I think for me, it's like I've been going every week saying that this is for the vibes. And then, like, we show up and we start playing and you get vested into the game, and then it just all goes downhill. Like, Saturday, I was like, man, this is senior day of the vibes. And then they started playing so well. And so I got, someone saying it's chopping up. I'm not sure. It seems choppy. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the sound. I mean, it sounds clear to me, but I don't know what's on. Is it on our end or what's going on?
Yep, I got it.
You're on mute.
So
there you go.
Hopefully the control room is helping with the choppiness of the sound, because it sounds good on our end.
Yes.
I'm screaming. I read the control room comments. So they get it together. But yeah, so you know, you get invested on this
See, everybody's saying that while there's something's not right with the sound. So let's give us a second to see, because I literally, it sounds just fine to me.
Yeah, it sounds fine to me too. We might as well just push through and let's see if Wally can get it straight rather than break off. But yeah, I was just like, you know, I'm like you. You know, you go for the vibes. You say you're not gonna get invested, but then they play well and you become hopeful. And for me, I think I don't know. I got into a point where I wanted to see. I feel like maybe worse than the students did, more than the athletes did, because I just didn't want to see them finish that way, not winning a game on their home field, especially for the seniors, for guys like Kelby Givens, who had done so much, had been so great over and stayed for his senior year when he could have gone and gotten a big payday somewhere else. I felt genuinely bad for him.
Yeah. I felt bad for Kelby too. I think I realized Saturday when it comes to Kelby that it was very like from year to year, like what it has, like it really feels unreal. Like it really does feel unreal. Like I didn't necessarily know if we were going to go to celebration mode, but like I just did not expect us to have this level of a season. And so, I mean, shout out to the people who stayed around, because I mean, it's easy to give up on the team when it's in this juncture. It's easy for the fan base to become disgruntled. It's easy for the coaches to give up. It's easy for the players to go through the motions. But I do feel like since the change, not necessarily mid-season, but since the change, they're at least showing up, and it feels like they're showing up. And so I give
everybody. You could tell everybody hadn't bought in, which is part of the problem. But enough of them have bought into the change where you see they're at least playing better. That's the only bright spot that you can really look at this team, that they play better. And you just hope that they can put something together for the Bayou Classic.
Yeah, I mean, that would be beautiful to get something together for the Bayou Classic. But obviously, before we even talk more about SWAC football, before we go into the biggest conversation of them all, which is the coaching search that everyone is talking about, there was an incident that occurred. Southern released a statement today, so I think we have that statement. Southern University and A&M College is aware of a concern about an incident that occurred following the conclusion of the Southern University versus Texas Southern football game on Saturday, November 15th. The incident involved a game attendee and a Baton Rouge Police Department officers. Southern University is committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of all students, employees, and visitors. The university has opened an internal investigation to review the circumstances surrounding the event. Additionally, the university is actively cooperating with BRPD, which is also conducting its own review. No comments at this time. So there was an incident during the fifth quarter of the game where there was a couple of officers involved with the fan. There's really no conversation around like what happened or what led to the event, but we do see the event in the video. And so this is a statement that Southern put out. Any thoughts, comments, concerns on there?
I mean, looking at the video, you can't see what the conversation or what's going on, but if they didn't have on shirts or their gear identifying them, you would have thought they were just in it. I mean, it didn't look good. I'll just put it like that, without passing judgment or saying it didn't look good. It didn't look good.
Yeah, it didn't look good either at any point in it. It's always becomes a reflection of the university. And I've been, we all much longer than me. But we've all been attending Southern games for a very long time, and I've never been a time inside a month where I just felt unsafe. And there was a similar situation that happened on our clear way, and it wasn't any fights, hands, or whatever. So it did not look good. And I know how sometimes crowd control can go crazy. So I don't know. I'm glad the university put out a statement. I hope and wish the folks involved well, and I hope that they get to the bottom of it and justice is served and prevails for all parties involved.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, for BRPD, I mean, I just, like I said, it does with the track record, the things that we've seen, and it just didn't look good. I would like to go further, but I won't.
I mean, a part of me does want to go further too, because I mean, it's just time after time after time after time again, we see moments like this where there could be an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become emotionally intelligent people and handle situations. I just didn't see where anyone was in immediate harm or danger where it required that level of force to rectify whatever the situation was, be it remove somebody from the stadium, be it keep student athletes safe. Like, it didn't seem like it required all of that, and so that's what I got for that.
Yeah, it just I mean, somebody has to be the thinker. Somebody has to think, and it didn't seem like there was a lot of thinking going on in that situation.
Yeah, and multiple. So
yes.
Thank you, Southern, for releasing a statement. That's our, that's the right thing to do. And I really wish people would. I mean, I know it's easy to like just blame the university.
Yeah. Well, people don't care anything about facts, and then the fact that it was coming off, early in the day, the situation at Texas A&M, people were looking for something to be. They were be emotional about and tied in. And it just happened to be, on Southern's campus that this happened. But it was not Southern's police department. It was the Baton Rouge Police Department.
But anyways, so the biggest topic of the weekend, despite the game, there's still a coaching search happening for our next football coach, the next era Jaguar football. Listen, I told somebody today, I don't care if they hire Lacumba. It is going to better than what we are, but there are some names circulating. There's some conversations. Coaching search. I have a lot of thoughts, but just what do you have to say about the coaching search?
I just want them to get it right. Like you, I've heard several names that have circulated around. I was privy to get some information that this past weekend that kind of made things more clear to me as to how the situation with football got to be where it is. And, the fact is, from all reports that I've gotten, the administration in the back of the campus, in particular the president's office, hasn't exactly been supportive of football or athletics these past few years. And that has kind of led to where the program has gotten to be right now. So hopefully those things will change. I think we have some very supportive board members who are keen on getting the football program and athletic program to where it needs to be in terms of how it provides services for the student athlete, facilities, and things like that. So we'll see as time comes. But right now, they need to get the coaching search right.
Yeah, I think that all the things to be true. I mean, I tell people all the time, look, there's going to be, we could know, like right now, I can know that Reggie Floyd is going to be the next coach of Southern University football. But if you know Southern, it's not seal the deals, the line, and all the things until they have a press conference with a new podium. By the way, I just want y'all to know that we ordered a new podium today for the athletic department. So shout out to the quarterback club members. And so hopefully it'll be by the time we announce our new coach. But breaking news, new podium is coming.
Yes.
But we did order a new podium. But I mean, at the end of the day, like there still needs to, we could hire whomever. There's still a risk that you take when it comes to coaching. I think we've talked about this before. And so like there's going to be an elevation of like our experience as fans, no matter the coach, but like we have to also think about our own accountability as a fan base and how we are supporting the university and what we're doing to support the university. And so I look forward to it, and I hope that they make an announcement sooner rather than later so that people can, prepared to just support the university, because I mean we can only go up from here. Like whoever is the next coach is going to win more.
I would hope so. I would definitely hope so. He wins more than one game. And like I said, I'm hopeful. I think the names that I've heard are real quality names. I know some of the people they've interviewed have been some real quality names. I think that they are hyper focused on getting this hire right. And mind you, not everybody's going to be happy with the hire, but I think the vast majority of people will be satisfied with who they hire. I hope they make the announcement. This is ideally what I would like as somebody in media and PR.
Boy,
I like
100 times. I love to hear this story. Go ahead and tell them all.
I would love for them to not make an official announcement, but go ahead and get the paperwork done and have that coach appear at the Bayou Classic. Don't interview him. Just have him sitting up in the suite and just have the cameras flash to him. And, hey, that's the new coach at Southern University. Then the next week, we have the first press conference presenting whoever the new coach is.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's a good spirit to lead into as we talk about the next coach. I think the Bayou Classic is a perfect introduction to just the culture of Southern University and what all of that means anyway. And so, especially if it's someone who is not necessarily familiar. I'm pretty sure they will be familiar, but yeah. So if you were a new coach, let's say you were named a new coach, like what would be your number one priority coming into this program?
Well, it would have to be multiple priorities all at the same time, because you're going to have to hit the road recruiting. You're going to have to hit the road fundraising, and you're going to have to hit the road making the connections with your alumni base and the coaches, coaches in high school, coaches and JUCO coaches that you're going to be trying to get players from. So it's going to have to be multi-pronged in terms of what the priorities are.
Yeah,
and then you have to worry about infrastructure and things like that.
There was another show that talked about if they were coming into the program, the kind of things that they would conduct as it relates to that. And one of the interesting pieces about their experience, they entered a conversation around just operational side, because I think oftentimes people forget about the operational side of football, and sometimes I think that especially for our institutions, the coaches are so heavily involved with operations and they can't really trust some coaching cycles and just the amount of things that they're thinking about and thinking through. Like when I think about other programs, I know for sure that there are people that are designed to be there.
But here's the problem, and I get what you're saying. I agree with you on that point, but that was those coaches' choices because of the hires that they made. They wanted to deal with operational things because of the people that they hired around them. Instead of hiring good people to deal with operations, I said it, but instead of hiring people to deal with operations, they chose to hire people who really weren't good operational people. So it became part of what they had to do, and they weren't good at operations. Coach Oden was back, but he kept good people around him to handle his operational part, so he could coach football. And I think the last two coaches, why you saw them fail, was because they didn't have competent people around them to handle the operational aspect of football. I saw on another show, they talked about having a general manager for football, but I think that I like the idea. I don't know if we're to that point other than changing maybe the director of football operations and making them a DFO/GM, but you have to have somebody who is capable of doing that kind of job, because the GM person is also going to be basically your recruiting director. They're going to evaluate talent. They're going to, set up your recruiting boards, all of that kind of stuff, along with operations. Probably at schools on our level, you're going to have to see somebody who can multitask. And not just HBCUs, but schools on the FCS level, period, because of the finances of it. You're probably going to have to see somebody who can multitask and doing both of those jobs. You'll be lucky if you can separate the director of football operations and general manager. But I think the next coach is going to have to focus on that with his staff.
Right.
Staff is important. We've seen the last two hires we made how important staff is, because we've basically seen the same staff carry over from the last two coaches, and we've been unsuccessful with the last two coaches.
Yeah. That was what I was leading to when I said that. It's like, from the show they talked about the general manager, but I think also and just their understanding of the role. Because I think that people oftentimes think about coaching and think about the X's and O's of football. But I would argue that the operational side of coaching, the operational side of the football program allows you to be able to be successful with the X's and O's.
Yes.
If you're hosting recruits and it's a chaotic, situation, and you don't know what to do or who's going to be what or who's going to be doing what, like that already sets the culture of what you're entering to, even if you decide to come to the program. And so you have to get that foundational situational stuff right before you can even think about execution on Saturday. And so that's what I hope that whoever is the powers that be understands the value in having good people to do those what seems like thankless jobs.
Yes.
Like we have a situation this football season that just was a dropping of the ball. It was not about resources or anything. It was like people in place not doing what they're supposed to do. And so, I think that we fuss about what happens on Saturday, but Sunday to Friday matters to execute on Saturday.
Exactly. It truly does. And you have to have people who are capable of doing the job in terms of operations and taking those pressures off of the coach and the coaching staff.
Yeah. No, that's it. And so we talked about recruiting, we talked about infrastructure. What else do you think is like a primary or a focus should be of our next leader?
Staff is at a premium. That is ultra important. Hiring the right people, making sure they have the right people, and a strategy. Like I know part of what they're looking for in a coach is somebody who has a strategy for not only hiring and retaining staff, but recruiting student athletes and gaining resources. All of those things have to be done all at the same time. You have to figure out how to get resources. You're going to have to go out and recruit student athletes. And how are you going to recruit? Are you going to just try to recruit everybody from the portal? Or are you going to mix in some high school, some JUCO kids, which is more than likely what they'll have to do. They'll have to, evaluate the talent that's already on the team, see who you want to offer to come back, hit the portal to get some guys. You're going to have to go to JUCO to get some guys, and you're going to have to hit the high schools to be able to bring in players, because you need players to develop and build depth with. So it's going to be all of those things are going to have to go on all at the same time.
Yeah, and I think that brings up a great question. And I see your comment, Kendrick, and I think we'll get to that next about the social media and this generation of athletes. And because a lot of those coaches, like very early on, made these proclamations about what they were going to do. We had a coach that basically was like, we not going the high school route, we just going straight portal. And I think it's to your point, is either or, because what I've seen from week to week, or what I would like to see as a fan, is progress and player development from week to week. Even if we're not winning the games, like from week to week, there should be some level of progress and player development. And this season, more than any other season, in my opinion, we have seen regression after regression, week to week regression. It's like the same stuff that were mistakes in week one shouldn't be happening in week two. Even if you don't win the game, like you should be seeing that level of development. And when it comes to recruiting, I think it's a both end. Like I think you have to recruit high school players, and you also have to fill gaps and needs for the portal. Portal. I think people have used the portal to like supplant and not complement like what they have going on, but
exactly,
the supposed to fill gaps. It wasn't, in my opinion, supposed to be building programs off of portal access and players coming from the portal. And so, I think that's part of, sustaining a quality program year to year, as opposed to these one and done fill a gap kind of thing. So,
yeah, I think that, I think the portal in the last 2 years at Southern has been misused, but I think most coaches are starting to realize that the portal is an addendum. It's not the way to solve or build a team.
Correct.
And I think that's what you've seen with this team. There's no connectivity with this team because they're not really teammates. They're all guys. They're mercenaries for the most part, and they're guys, for lack of a better phrase, they don't have that old Southern spirit.
Yeah.
So because they come from somewhere else, they came here to play ball, and this was the best opportunity for them. I think you have to have some guys who are born and bred diehard Jaguars on your team. We don't have enough of those guys. We have to get more of those guys who want to be at Southern. Of course, like you said, you fill in your gaps with your guys from your JUCOs and your portal guys, and that's the way I think you build and sustain a program.
Yeah. No, I think that's spot on. And I think switching gears just a little bit, thinking about the coaching in this generation. So I've never coached, but I was a teacher. And the social media aspect of it. And I think I might have a unpopular opinion when it comes to social media. Unlike folks, especially when the results are not going your way, people feel like you can blame it things. But what do you think about today's student athlete in their social media antics and use of
they're going to be on social media, but it has to, I think as a coach, you have to talk to them and make them realize that what they do on social media can directly affect what happens on the field and can direct how they play, how much they play. So it has to be some yin and some yang to the social media thing, because they're going to be on social media because a lot of players are monetized and they're getting paid from social media. So they're going to be on there, but you have to be able to recognize, and there has to be, if you go on social media and you do something dumb, there has to be some consequences for that. If you're 1 in 10, you shouldn't be clowning on social media. I mean, that to me, that speaks volumes about, like I said, the connection and whatever pride or lack of pride that you have. Because if I'm 1 in 10, I'm staying off social media, bro. That's just me. But you have to understand that these kids have grown up on social media. They're a social media generation. They are going to be on social media. That's part of the play. That's part of what it is. But the coaches have to be able to, to deal with that. They have to be able to deal with that and recognize that that's part of what this is.
Yeah, and I think that's my messaging to folks. It's like, social media can become annoying when it especially when you're 1 in 10. But you just have to strike the balance. And I think that's what our team has really lacked this entire season was discipline. Like we literally just did not have any sense of discipline. And I don't want Odom's back, but also one thing I can give you have to give him credit for is like he ran a discipline program, at least from the outside looking in.
Yes.
The program was very disciplined, and the discipline that was portrayed on the field was it showed. Like it was a level of discipline that I think that all programs need. And discipline doesn't come from hooping and hollering, because I'm gonna just go ahead and call out the special teams coach today. Because that man, he been fussing from pregame in Atlanta until literally last week, and absolutely nothing has changed. So, bro, you about to stroke yourself out with all that hooping and hollering, scrunching up in your face, and literally it's not resonating with the players. So there's a difference between creating a culture of discipline in a program as opposed to hooping and hollering and yelling as if like you're changing something. And so we have lacked discipline this year, and I think it's shown completely on the field. And I hope that that's something that we also address in our new hire, in our new area situation.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So that's the first half of the show. Let's take a break and get our sponsors spotlighted, and then we'll be right back with more of Inside the Game. Yeah, Patrick McGee Law Firm, one of our continuous sponsors. He is located at 700 St. John Street, Suite 500 in Lafayette, Louisiana. You can find him at 337-476-2433 or visit www.McGeefirm.com. I don't know what McGree come from. The Southern University Agricultural Center has continuously been a sponsor as well. We are proud to be presented by the Southern University Agricultural Center. For students who are interested in ag, the website is www.suagcenter.com, 225-771-2272. Listen, there is a lot of money in agriculture, so encourage, expose kids to that. Speaking of the Ag Center, shout out to all of the students who attended high school day at Southern University on Saturday. Listen, we complain a lot about what the school is not doing and what all the things that we could do better. But to see so many kids invested and interested in the Southern experience on Saturday was truly the highlight of the day. To just hear them talk about what they experienced during preview day and hear them excited about attending Southern University still brings so much joy to me. And so shout out to all the families who came from near and far to expose their students to Southern University. You too can become a sponsor of Inside the Game. Here is how you can become a sponsor of Inside the Game. You've been here with us all season. I think this might have been our best season up.
Yes.
Despite the bad season off the field, off the field, we have killed the game, and our viewers are the reason why. Make sure you check out our website at Inside the Game, bits.ly/Inside the Game. There was other SWAC football this weekend with title implications. So first of all, shout out to Prairie View A&M University for clinching the SWAC West. Did you see that one coming?
I didn't see it coming, and hey, they went out there and they found ways to win games from game one. They found in a game that everybody thought they were going to lose to Texas Southern. They come out on the final play of the game and find a way to win that game. They go to Alcorn and win a 13-12 victory. I mean, they have just found ways to win games, and they are deservingly so the SWAC West Division champions. And I'm going to tell you something. They are playing really good football right now. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They're a real physical team. They seem to be pulling it together. I think the SWAC championship could be very interesting.
And, I was thinking about that too when Purview clinched. So once again, shout out to Purview. Congrats on winning the SWAC West. Week to week, they have, to your point, found ways to win. But also week to week, they have gotten better.
Yes.
They've gotten better. I mean, people thought that they were going to get steamrolled by Alabama State. They showed up in that game. They didn't win the game, but they showed up and they played and they competed all the way till the end. And week to week, they have been just really – I think they're playing inspired football, which is what you want from a team late November, early December. So I think it can be interesting. They've already shown that they can go toe-to-toe with Alabama State. We don't know who's going to represent the East right now. So speaking of – Jackson State clinches the East with a win over Alcorn, and we will see Jackson State in Purview, or Alcorn, who is also playing really good football. They beat Grambling this weekend, can find a way to win in the vet. It will be Alabama State in Purview. So what are your thoughts on the East coming down to the end of the season on Saturday?
Well, I mean, Alcorn had a lot of the second half of the season. They've had some things break their way. They played a Grambling team with a lot of suspended players. They played a Southern team that really wasn't that good. That really isn't that good, I should say. And now they're going to Jackson State. They're going to Jackson to take on Jackson State to try to play the spoiler. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I think the opponent coming out of the East, meeting Prairie View, I would love to see either one of those teams, Jackson State or Alabama State. I'm leaning toward Jackson State because I want to see the physical nature of Prairie View against the physical nature of Jackson State. Both of them are very physical teams, and I would love to see how they match up. I think that would be the two best teams in the Southwestern Athletic Conference meeting in the championship, and I think that would be really great.
Yeah, I think either matchup, I think it's going to be good. I really hate to see. I mean, Alabama State again had their chances to complete it on the field. and complete that game against Jackson State. But man, they've just been playing such good football. You hate to see a team who's had such a great year be left out. But again, they didn't get it done on the field, and so they had their chances. But I mean, don't count Alcorn out. I think people are already automatically shooing Jackson State to roll over Alcorn. But rival games, you never throw the records out, and then Alcorn would love. What better way to
play spoiler against their rivalry, against their in-state rival,
in-state rival. So it should be some interesting SWAC football. So we don't have a game this weekend, so if you're out and about, somebody told us in one of those groups today, it was like, "Good luck, Southern," because I hear the bye week has a really good defense. I was like, man, this is so.
Yeah, it's tough on the bluff right now.
On the bluff right now. But no, I look forward to the rest of the SWAC season playing out, and then Celebration Bowl, and and then it'll be basketball season. Speaking of basketball, we had a basketball game on Saturday after football, so it was a full day on the bluff. I think we talked. Welcome back, Coach KJ. Any early season additional thoughts on basketball and your expectations of the season?
Well, I've kind of liked what I've seen so far from them. They play tough, they play hard, they're kind of relentless. I like that. I can't wait to see them play against an equal level of competition, because so far they've only, they played really big schools, they played up, or they played really down. So I want to see them with equal level of competition to see how they play. I think that's going to be interesting on the men's and women's side. So, I'm looking forward to basketball season, especially after, this football season.
Listen, I'm looking forward to basketball, baseball. I mean, if we had a hockey team, I would be looking forward to that after this football season. So, obviously this week is an open week. Grambling was not successful last week against Alcorn, and so we are going to the Bayou Classic for pride and pride only. Neither one of us will be representing the West in the SWAC championship, which is sad because I feel like the West should always come down to the Bayou Classic. So what are your, first of all, I would love for the people to give us their score predictions of the Bayou Classic in the chat box, and then I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about the Bayou Classic, expectations about the Bayou Classic, and what are you looking forward to the most?
First, I'm going to answer Joseph's question. Trey Holly was hurt last week. He had bruised ribs. He did not choose to sit out the last two games. He plans to be back for the Bayou Classic. And just to clear this up, and this came from Trey Holly himself. Trey Holly says he has no plans to transfer or leave Southern. He said, but realistically, he has no plans. He loves it at Southern. He knows that things are going to get right. But if somebody comes in and maybe, he said he's loyal to Southern because Southern gave him a chance when nobody else would. He's loyal to Southern, but it would take somebody coming in and making him a really good offer for him to leave Southern. So he is not planning to jump in the portal just because things aren't going well. It's going to have to be some money on the table for him, which I totally get. Can't fault him for that, but his plans are to be back at Southern.
Yeah, I mean, the loyalty test is a real test, and I think that 50-0 is wild. And gambling is even wilder. But I think the loyalty test is real, and I think that's been my conversation with folks who ask about Trey Holly, because people just automatically assume that he's going to jump in the portal on the first day, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, there is something to be said about the person who took a chance on you when nobody else would. And Coach Graves and Southern, kudos to them for doing that, because even people within our own camp thought that it was a very high risk thing. And he has shown to me week to week to be nothing but a good kid, quality kid, and a good football player. So even if it is, one time, like, he will always remember Southern University and the impression that they left on, like, taking a chance and giving him a second chance at life in football. When many people did not do that. So shout out to our school for continuing to live up to its expectations of being a school of opportunity and giving people an opportunity when there are no other opportunities to be successful and reach their full potential.
Exactly. Shout out to them. Johnny says Southern 17, Grambling 27. That's a realistic prediction.
That is a realistic prediction. Other predictions in the box, we have Grambling 50-0. We have Southern 17, Grambling 27. What you thinking of? What's your thing? What you did last season? Head hard. Where you going this year?
I'm just, I think this is one of those games where you throw the records out. I hate to say sound like a cliche, but I'll tell you why. I think Southern, this is an opportunity. Southern had a lot of guys sit out with injuries. A bunch of guys who are contributors or starters sit out with injuries. I think those guys are healed up. I think we played infinitely better last week than we played all season. I think the Bayou Classic is the game where Southern puts it together. They finally put it together in the final game of the season, and they find a way to win that game. I that's what I believe. It may not be true, but that's what I think happens.
I was telling somebody this other day. I said, we have been inching week to week over the last few weeks closer to playing a complete game. Because we didn't even talk about in this last game how everything was going so well until it wasn't. When we got that ricochet kickoff, it was like, here we go again. Like, this is literally our season in a nutshell. I've watched a lot of college football games, NFL. I have never seen it happen.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen like that.
Like for the ball to hit him where it hit him and then ricochet right back to the kick, never in my life. So we have been missing an opportunity to put together a complete game, but I do believe that we finally put together a complete game. What I want to see is one of those old school Bayou Classic shootouts. We're playing for pride, so why not put on a show? And what better way to end the season, to begin or enter into a new era of Jaguar football, winning the Bayou Classic, giving Coach McNair his first Gatorade bath as a Jaguar, going to the Hyatt and turning up all the good times, all the sneaky links, all the hey big heads with a victory. It's the Bayou Classic is always the Bayou Classic, but there is just something about the energy when we win the Bayou Classic that is just
different.
It's
different.
And so I think we put together our first complete game of the season, and we walk it off. Southern 34, Grambling 31.
Yeah, Joseph says, doesn't Grambling have players that will be suspended for the Bayou Classic? That could be significant. It's only 3 players. Most of their players will be back. It's only 3 players who had two game suspensions. I'm not sure who those 3 players are, but I don't think that'll be that big of a factor.
No, I don't think that'll be a factor at all. He said, well, he's back. I think he's back in Grambling. Azure. I know the last I heard, and this came directly from Grambling folks, was that he was in the hospital. They had not talked to him specifically, that they were messaging through his mother. But he was in stable condition, and he had suffered a concussion and some kind of neck injury. But there has not been much from Grambling. I haven't heard an official announcement from Grambling. And so that's all I have on the T-set situation.
Yes, that's all I've heard also.
So continuously wishing him well and hoping that he has a speedy recovery. Good kid on and off the field. Great kid, one of the best kids that I've had an opportunity to interact with. So wishing T-set nothing but the best.
Exactly.
Other score predictions for the Bayou Classic. It's here. And you know what else I wanted to ask you about? There's been this big messaging about people not attending the Bayou Classic. What is your message? I mean, you gave us such an inspiration sermon last week.
Vibes, baby. It's the vibes. You gotta go for the vibes. And let's be real. Go and enjoy yourself, because the Bayou Classic is more than a game.
Yeah.
Go and enjoy yourself, and bailing out now doesn't make any sense. You bought your tickets, you got your hotels, you might as well go ahead and enjoy yourself. I'm not giving any more inspirational speeches because it should be all laid out there for you.
Yeah.
The Bayou Classic is a vibe. You go, you enjoy yourself, you go to the Hyatt or wherever you go and just have a good time, enjoy the company, and just attend for the vibes. Yeah. That's all it is. Like I said, just attending for the vibes.
Like attend for the vibes. I'm with Paul. Shout out to Paul. Always great work. Great. Listen, I'm with Paul. We beat Grambling, and I think it's going to be the most beautiful victory ever, because they are going to be sick if they lose to a 1-win and Southern team. which would this would be like 4 in a row. That if we win this by 4 or 5 in a row.
I think so. It'd be 4 in a row. I think
4 in a row. Oh man, they are going to be sick, and they going on the couch with us too. And they didn't win the Bayou Classic.
I'm sure y'all will not let them forget it.
You can take my Facebook page today, because if we beat Grambling, you're gonna think we won a Super Bowl. I mean, because it is the Super Bowl. Like, it's a Super Bowl for us. Like, it's a great time. And this year more than ever, we need the Bayou. Like, it's great to win the Bayou Classic, but we don't necessarily always need the Bayou Classic.
Yes.
This year we need the Bayou Classic.
Yes.
I think that we will be successful as well, Paul. So,
but I want us to look good. Not just us, but Grambling. I want the Grambling people to come too. I want everybody to come, because I think this is a situation where we get an opportunity to really show America what the Bayou Classic means. It's not just about winning or losing a football game. It's really about the culture. It's really about the history and the culture and the richness of the African American community. So I think this is an opportunity to go past the game and really do it for the culture and do it for the vibes, like I said.
You know, it's so good that you bring up that point, because one of the other things I wanted to say is, like, I really hate to see people like talk down on like things that are curated for us. Like, the Bayou Classic is for Black people.
Yes.
It is a Black event curated for the celebration of like 2 institutions that have provided so much opportunity for Black people in Louisiana, on one of the largest stages in Louisiana when you can play a football at. Outside of like Tiger Stadium, but like, you know, one of the largest arenas. And the fact that we allow other people to consume our narrative around our game is so crazy to me. Like, they do it with so many things that are curated as Black spaces for Black people.
Yes.
Like, no matter what's going on the field, like, the Bayou Classic also shows the economic power of the Black dollar and how much money we pour into to facilitate tourism in the city of New Orleans, that it thrives and lives off of tourism. So it's like, it's really unfortunate when people get on and create these random narratives around what the Bayou Classic. Oh, it's not the same as it used to be. Like, bro, this is one of the few spaces that we have for us by us. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Yes.
That blows me to hear people engage in those level of conversations about our game. Same thing with like the Celebration Bowl. Like, bro, that's stuff for us. Like, we have these spaces like for Blackness to celebrate Black excellence, and to have our own people downplay it, it's really unfortunate. So shame on y'all.
Yes, shame on them. And like I said, show up for the culture, show up for the vibes, and just have fun. Like people pretend like Southern and Grambling are mortal enemies. Like, they're gonna go up to North Louisiana. We're never gonna speak to them until the next time we play. We're all friends. Let's just show up, have a good time, support our universities, look really good on TV, and do it for the culture, man. Just show America what we're really about.
Yeah, one year I want the Bayou Classic to be a whiteout. I want everybody in the building to have on like crisp white, like a Frankie Beverly and Maze concert. And like, when you pan that camera and see all them Black folks in all white, you know Black people love all white. Like, so it is when we put on our best all white, it's a celebration.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And so, yeah, I look forward to that. Before we get out of here, we haven't talked much about the NFL this season. But before we talk about the NFL, any predictions on high school football, or have you been keeping up with the high school football program?
I have been keeping up. They had big news today in high school football. As a matter of fact, Edna Carr and Warren Easton have been removed from the Catholic League here in New Orleans, and they've added Chalmette and Chapel Catholic. I forgot what it is, but they've added them, and they've taken Warren Easton and Carr and moved him to another district, where Carr has filed a grievance, a protest. They want to play in the Catholic League. Chalmette does not want to be in the Catholic League. So maybe they'll work out some kind of deal where Carr get a chance to go back to the Catholic League, Chalmette will go back to their old district. So I don't know. But yeah, that's going on. But in terms of the high school playoffs, I'm looking forward. I'm crossing my fingers that we get a St. Augustine Carr matchup in the dome for the select title, the select Division 3 or Division 4, whatever it's called. I think it's Division 3 title. And I'm hoping on the other side that we get we get good matchups. I hope some of the Baton Rouge schools get to make it to state this year. That's always a good time when the Baton Rouge schools are here. They always bring a crowd, and they always play well, and they're always well coached. So, I'm looking forward to the high school championships. I plan to be there.
Yeah, I am looking forward to that car in St. Aug. Hopefully, that car. It's definitely not an easy road for either. Like the car,
no.
Favorite probably, but that they have some tough matchups.
They have to rebeat teams. It's always hard to beat a team twice in the season.
Yeah, it's very hard to beat a team twice in the season. Shout out to my alma mater. We're still fighting tooth and nail in the playoffs. So Southern Lab is playing Washington Christian this weekend in Monroe.
Yes, indeed. Y'all better be packing up the buzzer because y'all are not going to get any calls in Washington Christian. They are still mad at y'all for coming back on them 3 years ago when the Southern's band was playing in the stands for Southern Lab, and they are still mad about that. So that's going to be a heck of a game up there in Monroe.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy game. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I have not had good experiences when we play Washington Christian in Monroe. So if you are a labber and you're in the area, surrounding areas, make your way to Monroe on Friday. We need all buses green and gold. To light it up. So switching gears to NFL before we get out of here. What are your thoughts? So we haven't really talked much about the season. I mean, the Saints have been dismally terrible. Our team is fighting through injuries, but we're fighting through, and then we're
always fighting through injuries.
Bethune and Eddie Pinero, the new kicker, both out indefinitely as of today. I'm like, bro, we cannot catch a break.
Not catch a break at all, but we still find a way to win games, and that's the thing. Saints, if I can get it out, the Saints and the Falcons play this weekend for the bottom of the NFC South. The Saints, I'm interested to see what the Saints do coming off of bye week. They have traditionally been able to play better coming off of bye week with the new quarterback and all of that. So they're going to be playing for the bottom feeders of the NFC South. Hopefully San Francisco, we have been fighting through injuries this whole season. Hopefully we can continue to fight through these injuries. The Giants bring Jameis Winston in as their quarterback. Jameis just never goes away, dude. Just keeps on surviving. I love it. Keep making a paycheck, Jameis. I ain't mad at you, brother.
Got some time this weekend with the Browns finally. He did. They did not win, but there was some spurt. And people, that was another conversation. People were, talking about Shedeur getting playing time and just so critical. I'm like, bro, he has not practiced with the first team. They have clearly not shown from a practice development investment in the young man. And so what are we talking about?
It's the Browns, man. They are the Browns. Like, why do they expect the Browns to be anything but the Browns? They've literally been the Browns for the last 45 or 50 years. After they moved and came back in 1999, they were the Browns. They were terrible before that, with the exception of a few years with Brian Sipe and Ernest. I forgot the guy's name, but then they were terrible. Then they went away and they came back and they've been terrible again. So they're a terrible organization.
Yeah, terrible. And terrible and not investing in the young man who could really, help. I think is crazy. I think he played a decent game. He had some opportunities. He made a few plays. He did make a few plays, but again, a part of growth and development. He's a rookie quarterback. I think Shedeur will be a success with the right team and the right development, right investment. I wish the Saints would have drafted him just for clearly they needed a spark. But yeah, so that's the NFL teams. I think that's all we have for tonight. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? We will entertain questions in the comments. I know people are ready for the announcement, but we will not confirm or deny any reports today on this show.
No,
it's time to make an announcement about the next coach at Southern University. We will. We talked about the statement that was put out about the incident on Saturday. We talked about high school football, what's to come in the SWAC. DeFern, please. You didn't have no Rams house for me when we beat y'all on Thursday night. Now it's the Rams house. He finally got back to his house. That's a fan for you. But congratulations, y'all are doing well. We will see y'all again, and let's hope that we see y'all in the playoffs. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in yet again. We are coming close to the end of another season of Inside the Game. We look forward to Bayou Classic. We look forward to seeing y'all. If y'all see us, stop by, say hi,
say hi.
Say hello.
And we're gonna have a Bayou Classic. So we're gonna do something special for the Bayou Classic. We're putting it together. So make sure y'all join us next week. Bayou Classic press conference is Monday. It's next Monday. So we'll have something special going on. If you want to sponsor our Bayou Classic special, hit us up. Hit me or Coach Melle up. We'll get something going. Let's make that happen. We're going to do something special for the Bayou Classic. You can become a part of the action, become a proud sponsor. Hit us up. You can, if you got our personal numbers, if you need email, whatever you need, you want to sponsor, just get in contact with us because we are going to do something special for the Bayou Classic show.
And there was a question in the chat that asked, are we doing basketball? So we don't do a show every week for basketball. But we definitely will be popping in and out to just kind of provide some feedback, especially once SWAC play starts. And that's typically our first SWAC weekend is actually January the 3rd. And so we will definitely pop in and out the basketball season, but it won't be as consistent as you see us during football season. But we will definitely be around and be in touch. And so if you see us outside, it's always great to when we're in public and people come and say like, hey, I watched the show and this is what, whatever. So it's beautiful. We have built something great in a very short time. And so I look forward to continually being here with you guys. And go Jags.
That's right. Go Jags. Same here with Coach Melle said. I enjoy doing this show. Is one of the shows that I actually enjoy. It's never a drag to do it. We have great fan base, great fan participation, great production, and we're only getting better. So stick with us as we grow this platform and grow this show. Help us get some sponsors, contribute if you can. So, we're going to do it. It's Bayou Classic for the vibes. So get your outfits ready, get everything, get your hair done and all of that good stuff. It's for the vibes. We're going to get it in next week and be ready because the Jags are going to beat the Tigers.
We are going to beat the Tigers. And with that, take us out.
That's right. If the man upstairs says the same, we'll be back at the same time in the same place because as always, we take you inside the game.
Peace.